Hello, everyone. I'm Shamanica Wiggins here with the Sickle Cell Community Consortium. I'm so excited to be here tonight with Dr. Tomia Austin, and also Dominique Goodson will be joining me tonight.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dominique Goodson. I am so excited to be here with Shamanica for a conversation with the consortium and for our special guest, Dr. Tomia Austin. Thank you guys so much for having me. I'm excited.
I'm excited too. So if you are watching, please go ahead and share this video. And like we said, we are excited to be joined by Dr. Tomia Austin of the As One Foundation. Today, we'll be talking about the work she does there, as well as her partnership with the Sickle Cell Consortium.
Hi.
Hello, Dr. Austin.
Hey, everybody. Hi, Shamanica. Hi, Dominique.
Hi, Dr. Austin. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, this is super cool. We can be together and not be together. Kind of tired of it, but I'll take it.
Right. I feel the exact same way. I'm tired of virtual, but it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So thanks so much for joining us tonight. As I shared before you hopped on, tonight we'll just be talking about you and the amazing work you do with the As One Foundation. Of course, we're going to touch on sickle cell trait. How can we talk to you and not talk about sickle cell trait? And, ask how partnering with the Sickle Cell Consortium has impacted you and what you like about it and what you've gotten out of it. So I'm excited to hop into the conversation.
Yeah, me too.
So, when did you first, start working with the consortium? Me and Dominique been around since the early days. So, when did you?
I do not know the exact year, but I want to say it's been at least 5 years. My first consortium event was, I believe it was a leadership event
It was the Leadership Summit.
yeah, it took place in Atlanta. And I probably need to give a little bit of credit to Tanya Prince because she, we both do work in the Houston area. The As One Foundation is based in Houston. So I'm pretty sure she is who told me about the consortium. But I went to the meeting in Atlanta and y'all just welcomed me. I mean, and my little backstory is I've been doing sickle cell trait education since 2010, and it just hasn't been, at that time, it was just, I felt like an outlier. But to credit Dr. Lakia Bailey and y'all whole crew, I didn't feel like an outsider. I felt like there was a place for me, but I continued to speak up. And eventually, Dr. Bailey invited the As One Foundation to conduct the entire sickle cell trait track at the Warriors Convention. And I believe we've completed our year doing that. And we, don't take that opportunity for granted, and have just been able to meet more people and gain insights, understand the collective population, the warriors, their families. And, I always say every warrior's child is a trait warrior, at least. So
Yeah.
that just is the initial, it just explains the connection of why my work with you is, as in the consortium, is so important, but also just default intertwined.
Yeah, I agree. And I remember I actually met you at that first Leadership Summit because me, you, Tanya, and her daughter, we all took a picture together representing ladies from Texas or representing Texas.
Yeah.
And we've worked outside of the consortium in the name of sickle cell trait. As you said, I have two trait warriors, Rory and Raiden. So
yes.
I think we all agree that you really can't talk about sickle cell without addressing sickle cell trait.
I agree. So, Dr. Tomia, can you tell us a little bit, elaborate a little more about what the As One Foundation does and what you do with As One Foundation? Because I believe, just like you said, it's very important to be talking about trait as you stated?
Well, so back then, our mission was to educate and increase awareness of sickle cell trait while encouraging young people to achieve their dreams in the face of life challenges. I know that's a long mission. But that mission comes out of our founder's story. He is an identical twin who was born with sickle cell trait along with his identical twin brother, but they did not know they had trait until they moved from the Bahamas to the United States and started playing football at Florida State. That's when they learned, because that's the mandated opportunity to be tested outside of the newborn screening. And they were educated that sickle cell trait was nothing to worry about. You'll live a normal life. Just be careful who you procreate with to avoid the 25% chance of having a child with sickle cell disease. And that was their, they were sent on their way. And unfortunately, and this is really, really truncating the story, but Devard's identical twin brother would die of exertion and rhabdomyolysis complicated by sickle cell trait on February 26, 2001. And about 6 years later, Devard, after making it to the NFL, striving in spite of life's challenges, which is why that's a part of our mission, would establish the As One Foundation in memory of his brother. They were born in the Bahamas. Their parents didn't know they were twins. The doctors didn't know they were twins until they were born. Throughout the pregnancy, they had been hearing two hearts beating as one. So the foundation was developed in homage to Devon. And then I joined the organization. That was established in 2007. I joined the organization in 2010. And by 2012, I could see very clearly, the sickle cell trait part of our story. I wrote a program called Operation Hydration, and I consider that the hook, because I know you guys know the importance of hydration as warriors. But that dehydration that took Devon out is dehydration that affects so many people, sickle cell or not. And that was my way to, because it was shied away. It just wasn't the conversation to have. And it's certainly still, we're making strides, but amongst young athletes, it's kind of hard to, start having that conversation about sickle cell trait. But hydration, that's an easy conversation to have. So we've since updated our mission, which is now to empower families globally, delivering life-saving sickle cell education. And we believe that there is no comprehensive sickle cell education unless it includes sickle cell trait education. Mm-hmm. So that is the, very short version of what the As One Foundation does and how we came to be.
I know, thanks to like the education I've received from As One Foundation, especially hearing the backstories of athletes who have passed away because of trait exhaustion. Now my baby Rory plays basketball, and and I've heard in your presentations where coaches they tell the players water is for the weak, and that my daughter coach says that too, but I'm like, I need mine to come get her water.
Yeah.
I need mine to come get her water because, like you've always said, these can be prevented. These type of deaths can be prevented. And it's always young people in the peak of their lives striving for their dreams that could have been prevented if their coaches would just let them have water or breaks. And like you said, it's always at the practices where oh my goodness. I'd be cringing sitting through some of her basketball practices because those babies be out there sweating and out of breath, and mine, she's gonna ask for water, but a lot of the other ones, they won't ask for water, and after the game they won't even grab the water. They grab the Powerade or Gatorade, and I'm like, I brought both for a reason. So I know that's how you have impacted me personally with my daughter and her being an athlete. I always keep everything I've learned about trait warriors in mind with my daughter, and I make it known to her coaches ever since she started sports at like age 4.
Yeah, Shamanica, and it's so important because we are not saying that trait warriors or even warriors cannot play. They cannot play sports. But we are saying they have to warm up, drink up, rest up. It's just a very simple message for our trait warriors. They have to be allowed to go from rest to exertion gradually. That's warm up. Then they have to be allowed hydration. That is before, during, and after physical exertion. And they have to consume half their body weight in ounces of water per day to avoid dehydration. So that's the drink up. And then the rest up is the recovery. That is taking a knee. That conditioning that can go 40 straight minutes, they have to be allowed breaks. And that is the difference between Devon being here today and him not being here. And unfortunately, so many other young athletes who were told that sickle cell trait was nothing to worry about, whose doctors even were told that sickle cell trait is benign and asymptomatic. So we are attacking this from the standpoint of a 1,000-leg table. We got to educate the doctors and the providers. We have to educate the patient. We have to educate and empower the entire family, because a warrior is likely in a home with a trait warrior and vice versa. So everybody needs to carry this burden of education and awareness. And certainly we have to protect these young people whose parents have lost their son or daughter to something extremely preventable. So that's the bottom line. You get it, Shamanica, and I'm hoping that one family at a time, we're reaching those people, reaching the trait warriors and their parents.
I think with the work that As One Foundation is doing, I believe you guys are reaching parents and trait warriors. I remember the first time I heard about a a sickle cell trait warrior dying. They were like playing football, and I'm like, but they have sickle cell trait. And then once I got to know more information about sickle cell trait and everything, I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't know. But it was like it's not you rarely, but you don't hear it on the news as much,
right,
as often as it actually happens. So people assume that, oh, it must not be that bad, but it happens more often than we realize. And so I really think As One Foundation is doing an amazing job educating just everyone, not just the sickle cell community, but everyone on sickle cell trait and what is need to be done to make sure that they are staying healthy and hydrated all the time.
Well, and we have the consortium to thank, because our involvement with the consortium has definitely helped us expand our platform. This group, this organization of organizations, has really helped us connect our message through the consortium. We've been able to partner with other organizations who've brought us in to do things, or we've planned things together. And I can honestly say that is the direct result of the partnerships built through the consortium.
Oh, thank you. So
Yeah,
let me
that
ask
makes
you
us
something.
happy.
Yeah, it really does. Let me ask you something. So when I first heard, like, I got this email from like Ask One Foundation, and they said the honey bun walk, and the first thing I thought about was like, oh, we getting honey buns doing a walk. That I'm there. Can you tell us what the honey bun walk is?
So
Like, you get
the
the honey
honey
buns?
bun, the honey bun. Oh, and I wish I had a medal to show you. So Devon, as I told you, he's an identical twin. He's the identical twin of Devard Darling, our founder. But in high school, Devon was a defensive player, bigger guy, and he was nationally recruited, just a well-rounded young man. But Texas, Shamanic, Texas can be hot. So the school system has started to have football practice first thing in the morning before school started. So it got to first period. Devon hadn't eaten anything, so he would walk into his first period class every morning with a honey bun. So after Devon passed away, his teacher, Miss McGee, she wrote to us and she entitled her letter "The Honey Bun Story," because it's the story that she tells her current in-school suspension students about this young man who every morning she would have to tell him, "Devon, you know the rules." And he would say, "Oh, Miss McGee, it's just a honey bun." And she'd say, but he would very mild-manneredly discard a half-eaten honey bun, come into class, sit down, had good grades. And then she also tells her students about the fact that he went on and earned a, nationally recruited and earned a scholarship to Florida State, where they almost won the championship their first year as true freshmen. And even though his life was ended, prematurely, his brother would establish this foundation that is in existence today as of his NFL career, that's still helping people. So she uses the honey bun story to inspire her young people that have made some not so great decisions to show them a real life example. And I got to tell y'all, we celebrated the 12th annual Darling Dash, which is our 5K, this past February 27th, actually. And Miss McGee came to the race, and we had the honey bun medals there, and she earned her honey bun medal. But that we didn't make that up. This was his teacher that remembers his legacy of character, of being a good, having good manners. And that's where the honey bun story comes from. We have some things in the work to help build character amongst young people, especially young athletes. And we're going to call it this whole honey bun series. But that's and the medals, it has
It
a
looks like
scratch.
honey bun.
It has a scratch and sniff sticker on the back, and it smells like a honey bun. So that's the honey bun story. Yep.
That's the one thing I got in trouble for in high school too, is eating in class. I'm like, but I'm hungry. So he better than me. I didn't throw my food away.
Yeah, he did every day. And it was his favorite thing to eat, according to his mom, who's a trait warrior also. So
I know why honey buns be slamming, especially the ones with the white icing on the top. I'm telling you, them honey buns hit you in the right way. I don't know if I'd have threw mine out.
I can neither corroborate that or deny that, whether I know anything about a honey bun.
I like the one. It's a brand here in Texas called Mrs. Barrett's.
Oh
That's
gosh,
the one I love.
y'all!
So you just corroborated.
I did.
Okay.
I
You just
did.
corroborated.
I totally
Nicole
did.
says that's what a beautiful story, and that is a beautiful story. And I think the story of the As One Foundation is a beautiful story as a whole, because it's in honor of his brother. The story of they thought they were one and they became two. I
Mhm.
think as a whole, it's a beautiful story. And speaking of beautiful, those twins are beautiful. When I met him in Texas, I was like, oh my. But that's neither here nor there. But yes, it is a beautiful story altogether.
Yes,
um,
yes. I'm like big sis over here. I've seen it. I look that they get Devard. He gets those reactions, and I'm here to tell you, we have at the As One Foundation, we're in no position not to use whatever tools we have. So
Yes.
his physical appearance as our spokesperson, it is far reaching. I'll say that. Far reaching.
Use whatever you can to get that publicity.
Yes,
Well,
yes.
what are some things that you have coming up?
So we just finished the Darling Dash, and we already have our date, which will actually fall on the actual 22nd anniversary of Devon's passing. So that'll be February 26, 2023. But June 17th, which is the Friday before World Sickle Cell Day, we are in the lab, in the trenches, waist, maybe chest deep, planning our third provider education for doctors, nurses, all medical health providers. We will be providing CMEs, CNEs for nurses, as well as CEUs for our public health professionals, to educate them, because y'all have heard me say that the advocacy that patients are forced to do, especially trait warriors are forced to do, is not because their providers are bad. It's because they're undereducated. The information that I have says that a typical medical school curriculum spends about 5 minutes on sickle cell trait. And what they are provided is that sickle cell trait is benign and asymptomatic. So when a patient presents as having pain or as having, issues, or God forbid, this renal medullary carcinoma, the doctors are saying, well, that's not supposed to be, because this can't be sickle cell trait. And I heard Dr. Fremprung say, to a parent whose child has died, statistics don't matter. So, we're encouraging our providers treat the symptom, but we're also bringing in a atmosphere that they understand through case studies, telling the stories of trait warriors, living trait warriors that live with daily pain, that live with these symptoms that they've been taught that don't exist. And we're our goal is to educate at least 200, and this virtual education is global. Our CMEs and CNEs are coming through the McGovern School of Medicine, through the Texas Medical Association. So we are legit, and we're hoping to definitely that 6 degrees of separation of their patients improve the quality of life of the patient population and their family. That's coming up June 17th. July 29th is Miss Wendy's posthumous birthday. We have declared her birthday as Caregiver Appreciation Day, and we will be conducting a blood drive. Our blood drives are our daily bread, especially Black blood donors. So we have created a Black blood donor Facebook page and Facebook group and Instagram page to encourage Black blood donors. We are in a crisis, and our warriors need blood, and the possibility of rejection is diminished when a donor receives blood from a more genetically matched donor. When a patient receives blood from a genetically matched donor. We have some other things in line for the last 2 quarters of the year, but those are our immediate plans. Our World Sickle Cell Day, provider CME, and our blood drive in honor of Miss Wendy on her birthday, July 29th.
Wow, that's a lot coming up.
Yeah, and those are both important. When you were explaining about the CME opportunity, you mentioned a disorder or a condition that people with sickle cell trait can get. Can you repeat that and then also tell people what it is? I know what it is, but those watching might not know.
So renal medullary carcinoma, for short, is referred to as RMC. It is a rare but fatal kidney cancer that statistically affects only people with sickle cell trait. It is not cause for alarm because, as I said, the incidence numbers are low. But the fact that it happens at all, and we know that it is, if the reason why it's so fatal is because it's diagnosed often late stage. Now, the work that we have been doing, and we partner with Chris Johnson, the Chris Johnson Foundation, Miss Richie Johnson, who is Chris Johnson's mother. Her son died of RMC, and she's right there in Sugar Land, Texas, with us. She has, we partnered to do education and even fundraisers to add to the research. And so RMC patients are surviving, but not nearly at the rate that we need them to be surviving. We need them to be diagnosed earlier, because we know that an earlier diagnosis can result in the removal of the tumor and extend life. But it's just a precaution. So there's research that is associating exertion, sickle cell trait, and kidney injury. Kidney injury is the same thing as kidney failure. And that kidney injury, if it turns into that rhabdo where the muscle tissues break down and they cannot be processed through the kidney, then we're looking at RMC in some cases. And like I said, RMC is late stage diagnosed. So death is usually occurring within 13 months of diagnosis. It's a whole big education that is needed. We will be spending some extensive time during our CME on RMC. There's quite a bit of research that's taken place, and I'm just encouraging our RMC, our trait warriors that exert, that especially are physically active, to at least try to have an annual ultrasound of your kidney in hopes to, if RMC is present, it is diagnosed early and can be um, treated and prevent death.
Well, thank you. Thank you for that. I know that it's very useful and needed information. Unfortunately, we're coming to the end of our time with you. And before we let our people go, we like to, ask little fun questions. And I think Dominique has a question for you that I know that you will be happy, happy, happy to answer.
Yes, I do. Okay, so now I know whenever I see you, I always see you with something with like a FAMU. Like if you check your head out right now, what you got on, you got a FAMU hat. Like, what's up with that? Where that from?
That stands for Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University, October 3rd, 1887. What? That's what we say at FAMU. I am a Florida A&M Rattler, born and bred. I have 3 degrees. 1995, 1997, and recently, as recent as 2007. Yes, psst, Rattler,
Yes.
strike and strike again. That's
I see you with I see you with some kind of thing on there all the time. And I'm like,
But you don't have on orange.
It is a historically Black college and university, and I do love my school. And now I've become a donor, a supporter, and I give back to my undergrad School of Journalism, my master's, the Health, Physical Education, and Recreation, and my PhD, School of Public Health. I'm not just a Rattler in name only. We call those rhinos. I am financial. I pay my alumni dues. I'm a life member. I buy season tickets.
You
I
go to
wear
the
my orange and
games.
green for real. I represent for real.
Yeah.
You got that pride all the way through and through.
Yes.
I know the feeling. I'm very proud of the school I graduated from as well. But I also am proud of the school that I went to for a couple of weeks when I was in high school. North Carolina A&T, Aggie Pride.
Aggie Pride.
And those
HBCU love.
Yes, so much within
I
those.
missed out on the HBCU love.
It's not too late. It's not too late.
I know, but
It's
sometimes
really
I wish I was educated more as a high school student. They didn't push that, but now in schools, they are pushing it because there's so many more grads. Like you go into my daughter's elementary school, along with the big state universities, you see the HBCU flags up as well. So that makes me happy. But Dr. Austin, thank you so much for joining us. It's always a pleasure chatting with you. If anybody wants to get in touch with Dr. Austin, you can find her on Facebook at Dr. Tomia, one word, Wooden Austin, or the As One Foundation is on all socials as well. And keep in mind, they have those events coming up on June 17th and July 29th. So if you're in that area or if you are a medical student, hit her up and take advantage of that. So again, thank you so much for joining us, squeezing us into your busy schedule. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Shamanica. Thank you, Dominique. And thank you, Sharonda. I know you're back there. Thank you to the consortium and to all my warriors. If you know your doctor doesn't know enough, have your doctor come to our CME because they're going to be hearing it from us. And if you have, warrior or trait warrior children, have your doctor. This is relevant and it's going to be fun. We try to do things a little upbeat but definitely research based and evidence based, and they'll earn 5 credits, 5 CEU, CME, or CNE credits toward their license.
Are you gonna have a flyer for that soon?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'll make sure
we have
to
to save
share
the
it.
date out, but we will definitely have a link pretty soon.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much. All right.
Bye, Dr. Tomia.
Bye,
Yes.
y'all. Bye, virtual world.
Bye. So the virtual world, please do not leave. We are Dr. Tomia is leaving, but we are still here because we have more to converse about with you lovely people. Is that right, Shamanica? We're still going to be
Yes.
talking. We're going to do a little talk, right? You and I?
Yes, yes, we are. And what we will be talking about is our session tomorrow. Let's talk Oxbrida with GBT. If you are unfamiliar with Oxbrida, Oxbrida is, oh, there's our lovely flyer. We make some of the best graphics, you know. I don't care what nobody say. We make some of the best
Our
graphics.
our
But
graphic team is absolutely amazing.
yeah, so this is tomorrow. We are glad to have GBT joining us, the makers of Oxbrida. Oxbrida is one of the newer medications for sickle cell on market right now, and currently it was recently approved for warriors as young as 4 years old. So this giving more options for our babies. Most of the time, drugs are what 16 and up usually,
Yeah.
sometimes 18. So this is an exciting opportunity that you can register to join. It will not be live. You have to register. And people from GBT, as you see, Dr. Ken Bridges and
And Scott
help me out.
Peterson.
There we
And Scott
go.
Peterson.
We'll be there live, but we won't be streaming live to answer your questions, to present about the medication. So if you are a warrior, parent of a warrior, and you would like to know more about Oxbrida and how it helps and how it works, please, please, please register and join us tomorrow.
Yes, and this is going to be a very important topic because, as you know, for the sickle cell community, we really, until like 2019, we really didn't have any new therapies that were strictly for sickle cell. We had hydroxyurea, and that wasn't originally just for sickle cell, that was for something different. And now that we have so many, um, it's not a whole lot, but we have at least
More.
four. We have more than what we had 10 years ago on the market now. It's important that we the sickle cell community consortium brings information to you, has a community, speak with the makers of this therapy, so that you as a community, you as caregivers, you as warriors, um, you as stakeholders can ask your questions and get your questions answered from the company. So please join us. This is going to be one of our the first Warrior University session of the year, one of our first Warrior University special sessions. And yes, we are going to have Dr. Kim Bridges and Scott Peterson. As Shamanica said, this is a registration. You have to register, but unfortunately, how we are live right now on Facebook, we will not be going live on Facebook. So, in order to join and be able to ask questions, you have to register. And we will also be providing the Oxbrida PDF, if I'm not mistaken, PDF pamphlet that you could read on your own time. So if you want, you could also come and ask questions, have your questions prepared. It's a very good pamphlet, but a lot of people may have questions. Like I've been on Oxbrida for going on to a year and a half now, almost 2 years. And so I've asked them bunches of questions. But this is a time for warriors and caregivers who have never heard of Oxbrida, or caregivers who have children that are ages 4 to 11 that want to know more information about Oxbrida and what it's supposed to do for the children that age. It's the perfect time to get your questions answered. And
Dominique,
tomorrow is, yeah, I was
Nicole is
just
asking what time. Yeah.
so the time is going to be 7 p.m. Eastern, which is 4 p.m. Pacific time. Am I right? Time zones is not my strong
You
suit.
you you are correct. You are
Ah,
correct.
yay! I didn't have to
Because
count on
it's
my fingers.
because it's 6 p.m. for me, and Pacific is 2 ahead of me. So look at us. Look at us knowing our time zone.
I'm getting better with the time zone. So yes, this is going to be the time that you are able to ask your questions um, to the makers of it. You will be able to get a PDF downloadable version of it. But this is a time to actually also, for those who may be on Oxbrida, if they want to ask questions that they're not able to ask their doctor, or they just want to ask anonymously, you can send your questions into us and we can ask them anonymously if you don't want to be the one to vocalize your question. But join us tomorrow. It is going to be an amazing event. It's going to be very educational. It is going to be fun. So please join us, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Like I said, I'm on Oxbrida and has been for going on 2 years.
That's
Oh,
good to
and
hear.
I think Dr. Bailey is joining us.
Yeah, yeah,
The
that's
star.
yeah, she's joining us. There she goes.
There go the superstar. Hi, Dr. Bailey.
Hello, everyone. Hi, how are you all?
We're
We
doing
are
good.
doing
How are
great.
you?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Long day. I'm a little tired.
It's okay.
That's
We
just
were,
life at this point.
It is. It
we
really
were
is.
actually just talking about Oxbrida, the Warrior University special event session tomorrow with
Tomorrow.
GBT. We were letting them know this is their time to ask questions, and that Oxbrida was just recently FDA approved for children's 4 to 11 years old,
Mhm.
for tablets and tablet oral suspension or suppression. I can't remember which word it was, but yes, we were just discussing that.
Oh, yeah. I think that's exciting. It's now available as young as 4. And our younger warriors and our much, much older warriors are so often left out of different things. So it's exciting that that's available. And this is a really good time to come on and ask your questions. And I heard Dominique saying as I was backstage that, send your questions in anonymously if you want to. You do need to register. So this isn't like the rest of our stuff where it'll be shared to Facebook. This one will not be streamed live to Facebook. So everyone is invited, particularly if you are the caregiver of a young warrior and you have questions about it now being available as young as 4. You all should definitely come. But everyone else, but you do need to register and then join the Zoom because we're not sharing it live to Facebook. So unlike these things, it is incredibly important you go ahead and register. And I believe that you all have been posting that. Am I right, Shamanica?
Mhm.
Yes, we have
Okay, awesome.
on
I'm
all our
really excited
socials.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. I explained to them I've been on Oxbrida for a year and a half, and
Mhm.
I know when I first started taking Oxbrida, I was able to ask my doctor questions, and I know a few times during that year and a half, because of the consortium, we've had events and was able to speak to some of the members of GBT because they either had booths or something to ask questions when it came to Oxbrida. So this is the perfect time to ask your questions. And if you don't want to be the one to ask the question, or you want someone else to ask it, all you have to do is submit your questions and we will make sure that your questions get answered. But this is the perfect opportunity to ask whatever question you want to ask when it comes to Oxbrida. And even though this is for, because the new FDA approval was for 4 to 11, Oxbrida has been approved for adults
Mhm.
16 or 18 and up for over 2 years, if I'm not mistaken. So for those who have heard warriors say, I've been on Oxbrida and I've been taking Oxbrida and have been thinking about it and haven't asked your doctor, this is also the perfect time for you guys to ask questions too,
Mhm.
because it's still the same company and it's the same therapy for sickle cell warriors. So it's the perfect time for you guys to ask questions as well. So please feel free to join us, um, and on this Warrior University special session. And for those who don't know what Warrior University is, Warrior University is the Sickle Cell Consortium's online platform where we educate our community, caregivers, warriors, friends of warriors, pretty much everyone on different aspects of sickle cell, whether it's new sickle cell therapies, um, sickle cell 101 education, just pretty much anything and everything. And we do have lists of classes that are coming up for Sickle Cell Warrior University. So please make sure you keep an eye out on that, and make sure you keep an eye out on your emails, because we are sending those out as well to remind you guys of when classes and everything will be. But yes, so please take this time to register, because you do have to register in order to participate, because this will not be a live event. It will not be on Facebook, unfortunately.
I
Does
saw someone ask
registration,
what time. Did you all say that? What time
Yeah.
tomorrow? Okay.
Yep.
please?
So
I have a
tomorrow,
question though.
okay. Go ahead,
Does
Shimon.
registration close at a certain time, or is it open even after the start of the session?
Oh, that is a good question. Registration is open.
Yeah,
So
and I
even
believe it remains open even after it starts. We'll be monitoring to make sure you can get in.
Okay, because I feel like
So,
that's something somebody else would have asked if it
mhm.
popped into my head.
And
yeah,
what I
that
love
was
about,
that's a good question.
yeah, it looks like we're getting a message that that is correct. That's a really good question. I would recommend going on and registering now,
Now,
as soon as you can, just to ensure that isn't an issue with people having to watch and let you in, but that will be monitored.
And for those of you that are on the live, please check inside the chat. We have placed the link for you to register inside the chat. So just click the link in the chat, and you will be able to go and register, and you will be all set. So please go and click the link and register. And I mean,
I'm
remember, you
excited.
can invite friends and family. I've invited a few of my friends. One's a social worker, and tends to run into quite a few caregivers who are taking care of sickle cell warriors that need help. So it is great information for her to have as well. So remember, share with friends, family, and loved ones.
Yeah,
Now, I will say what I love about GBT is, let's just be honest. Pharmaceutical companies aren't in this because they're just philanthropic, they just want to help the world. Pharmaceutical companies are in this space to make money.
Hmm.
And one of the things I do love about GBT is that they're very transparent. They'll answer things. And they have created a system that if you are denied, if your insurance won't pay for it, if you can't get it, the company will pay for it for you, which I've never heard another company do before. That if you need this medicine and your insurance won't pay for it, they will pay for it, which is just, and I think they'll probably talk about that. They'll probably talk about the little system that's available that you can call in, ask your questions. They have like a number you can call, website information like that. I imagine they're going to bring it all up. Because let's just be honest, pharmacies aren't in this because they just want to give everybody treatments for free. They're here to make money.
Yeah,
And
it's true.
and now it's a good time I think I'm a big believer in asking the tough questions. And GBT is one of these companies that's very transparent. So come on and ask those tough questions, the things that you're concerned about, the things you want to know about. We've already gotten a couple questions from one person who says they won't be able to be there because they have to teach, so that we could go ahead and ask it in their stead. But I encourage you to just join us and ask the tough questions. Ask all the questions that you really want to know. This company tends to be really, really transparent. I love this about them.
aside from learning about Oxbrida and how it's going to help the little warriors, I'm excited to see what bow tie Dr. Bridges will have on.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little excited about that too.
I've never seen him without a bow tie on.
Mhm.
Never.
I'm thinking it's gonna be red. I'm
Yeah,
really thinking
yeah.
it's gonna be
My guess
red.
is going to have at least some red stripes in it, maybe a little
Yeah,
blue. Yeah, that's
We'll
that's
see
that's where my
tomorrow.
bet is.
yeah.
I wonder if he knows that we make bets about his bow ties.
I don't know if you're watching this live, he knows now.
He's awesome though. They're pretty cool people.
Yes, they are. And like Dr. Bailey said, they are GPT is very transparent when it comes to everything. And their GPT source solutions is it's amazing. And
Really.
hopefully that's one of the things they're going to talk about tomorrow as well. But this is a time for you guys to come in, learn more about Oxbrida if you haven't heard about it. Know how you could get Oxbrida, what it does. Ask any of your questions that you need to ask, and in regards to Oxbrida, like what are the side effects, just different things. I tend to like think of my questions ahead of time and write them down just in case I forget, and then just be prepared for it the next day. Like, oh, I'm about to get them. See if I can catch them slipping a little.
I heard
Doesn't
you
Well,
really
mention
happen, but
already that this is the first in a series of special sessions in Warrior U classes. So as we wrap up, I do want to just reiterate that the consortium, we're really excited to be bringing back Warrior University and to be bringing back all of these companies, and I mean, not companies, these classes that will cover a lot of topics: disease expert, patient, disease education, as well as life skills and all kinds of other cool things. So really excited about that. Excited to have Vanessa Rhodes having joined us, and connecting with Dominique Goodson to just continue to present lots of information, lots of fantastic classes that are open for the sickle cell community. And I know I got the message that for us to go ahead and start wrapping up. So the thing that I wanted to just also wrap up with is tomorrow is this class with GBT. It's this open session in Warrior University. But then the Leadership Summit's coming up, and partnershiping and all of that. You guys have been watching all of those previous sessions about that. So as we wrap up, we look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. And if you have any questions about tomorrow's session or any of the other things that this group's been doing, these really cool lives and talking about, please reach out and ask those questions as well. We're not doing this tomorrow because instead we will be having the Warrior U, but I do plan to go live on my page some point this week to just really talk to you guys and ask you all some, answer your questions as well. So I plan to do that. I need to double check if I'm coming on here. Shamanica might know, but I'm also planning to go live on mine. And that's it.
Wait, but
so
before we go, we
I'm
kind of
not.
want to do a little fun thing, right, Monica? We want
Yeah,
to do
yeah.
a little fun thing since we got Dr. Bailey superstar here.
Oh,
We
Lord.
want to do a little fun. Shamanica, take it away.
Okay, yeah. So, like she said, before we wrap up, Dr. Bailey, we want to do what we usually do with our guests every week is just some quick questions, fun questions to see the more relaxed and not so serious Dr. Bailey. So,
Okay.
here we go. The first one is, what is your favorite color?
Oh, that's such a boring question because I really love, don't judge me, I like the color gray. I don't hear people say that, but that is such a pretty color to me.
It's a
Stop
pretty decor
laughing.
color. It's a really pretty decor color. My bedding has gray in it.
I
So,
like it. Gray, silver. Dominique is cracking up. Listen, y'all know
I did
this
not.
about
I thought
me.
she was going to say black. I swear, I did not expect gray. I'm
I
like,
like
she was going to say
gray.
something like black, but okay, gray took me out a little. I
I
mean,
I
like
have on
gray.
all gray today.
Gray is a nice color.
Yeah, it is.
Well,
Leave me
here's
alone.
another common question is what is your favorite food?
Oh, that's a hard one. I love food.
Yeah, people don't think that any of us are big eaters, but the three of us eat a lot.
Eat a lot. And I
Mine is
travel. When
like,
the world was open, I would go to other countries or I would visit other places for the food. Most people go for
mhm,
the culture and I enjoy that, but I go for the food. I am a
food.
fan. Um, I don't know. Some of the best food I've ever had has been either in Japan or Puerto Rico.
I can see Puerto Rico, but I tried ramen and maybe we didn't go to the right place here and it just
Didn't do it
ramen
for
didn't
you.
do it for
I
me.
can see Japan having like
I was
really
really
good food.
disappointed.
Yeah,
What did you say, Dominique?
I said I can see Japan having like amazing food.
so good.
Well,
I
Japan
enjoyed
is on my
everything I
bucket
ate in
list.
Japan.
Japan is on my bucket list, so we will
Japan's
find
not
out.
planning to reopen. You know, Japan's population is aging. The bulk of their population is over the age of 48, I think. And they say within the next 10 years, like a third of Japan's population will be 65 and older. So they're not planning to reopen anytime soon, their country, their borders, like at all. It might be a
That's
while
sad.
before any of us can go to Japan.
Maybe we can go for Rory's 18th birthday. That's
There
8
we
years.
go.
They
That's
gotta let
Rory
me in
wants it.
because I need to go visit the place where Hello Kitty was created. They
You would
Right. That's
love
where
it. They have
you would love
huge
it. It's
Hello Kitty food
everywhere.
stores
yeah, I know.
everywhere.
Like they need to at least let me in. I just want to just go and just look and see where Hello Kitty was created. I'm not asking for much. I'm not
Listen,
asking
did
Well,
I
for
you
ever
know,
much.
I'm
tell
big
you
into
all?
anime.
They
So,
have a lot of anime too. Did I ever tell
yeah.
you all? I went to Japan and they were doing this thing where you give them like, I don't know, $1 or however much, and they would spin this thing and you would win. And most people were winning these tiny little things. I gave it to it and spent, and my cousins looked at
Hello
each other and
Kitty.
said, "Watch her win that vacuum." I
Mm-hmm.
spent and I won a Hello Kitty vacuum. Now, what was I supposed to do with an entire vacuum in Japan?
Give it to
Silly.
Dominique. Give it to
My
Dominique.
cousin was mad because he had to carry a big old vacuum around the rest of the day. I won
I'd
a
have been
Hello
mad
Kitty
too.
vacuum cleaner.
So what?
What
Okay.
is your favorite holiday?
Holiday? Probably Christmas. It used to be Thanksgiving because that's when the whole family would get together. But now I think it might be Christmas.
My favorite holiday is Halloween.
Halloween is fun.
Mine's Thanksgiving. Because
Yeah.
you just get to, it's your family and friends and loved ones. You actually get together. It's for no presents or anything. You're getting together just to be thankful for each other.
Yeah. That's
And I'm like,
I
nice.
get in the food.
and then it's
You
the
came
food
about the
too.
food.
Hmm. Yeah.
That might have a lot to do with it too. The food.
Dummy, you want to take the next couple of questions?
Yep. Online or in-person events.
My preferred.
Yeah.
Oh, in
Preferred
person,
online.
hands down. I miss in person so much.
Me too.
So
That
much.
makes
And
two of
there's
us.
so much work, but we've learned that online events aren't easier. They're
No,
just as
it's
much
not.
work too.
It's just a different kind of work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in person, online lets more people join us though, and I do love that. But personally, I'm ready to be in person again.
Me too.
Me too.
Paint or trivia. So like a
Probably
paint trivia.
trivia. It's gonna have to be trivia for me. Yeah.
Because you
Ooh.
want to win.
Well, I mean, I have a chance at that. I can't paint to save my life.
Uh,
So
I'm just saying, if y'all playing Lakia inside of a trivia thing, just make sure y'all on her team. Don't let it be like make sure y'all on her team or y'all gonna be upset and then you ain't gonna play. I'm
it's
just saying,
happening.
speaking from experience. TV or read?
Read. I prefer
Me
to
too.
read.
As you can
Yeah.
tell. I prefer
I
reading.
prefer neither and prefer music.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
I like
See, I
music
can
too.
listen to music while I read.
While I'm reading. Me too.
That's a vibe.
I
Sleep or
used to
party
could.
dance?
You used to could do that?
Yeah. But Dominique asked another question.
What was my question?
Sleep or party?
Sleep. Listen, I know I'm boring, but give me a good book, a comfortable bed, and some good food, and I am happy. Happy. I tried. I went to Vegas before the world closed, and I realized it's not for me. I was happier in my comfortable hotel room than I was walking that strip.
She fell asleep
These
inside Cirque du Soleil.
I did. Not gonna lie. I
We
was
both did.
knocked out.
We both
these
was in there
days
like,
I would
yeah.
take sleep over party too. Like I've had my party days. Give me the sleep.
We
Yeah.
was in Cirque du Soleil, knocked out.
We
I mean,
were.
not the dance. We was out walking, and it was like it was a lot, and so
Guys,
it
I
just
forgot about that. That was
it wore us out.
embarrassing.
But
We
we was
were
in Cirque du
out.
Soleil, knocked out.
We were. I forgot about that. Don't tell people about that.
Yeah.
It's too late. It's on live now.
It's a lie. I forgot about that.
Dance or cook? Why I can't do both?
You know what? I wish I could dance. I think I would love it. I just don't have any rhythm, but I am a pretty good cook. So I'm gonna have to say cook as long as I have an open kitchen area. I can't cook in a claustrophobic environment.
I'm
Do you?
choosing both because I dance while I cook. I be sitting up there with my music in my ear.
That's what Vanessa said. Dance
Like
while I cook. Vanessa
they be
is
sitting
what
up there
she
looking at
doing.
me like, you all right? I be sitting up there dancing, cooking, and singing like, oh, this is my jam. And don't let one of my songs come on because I get even louder and hyper.
That sounds like a
Dominique, that's
yeah.
normal you.
Yes, that's true. I do love my music.
So, Kia, do you like
Rom-com
rom-com
or
or
action?
action?
Action. Oh, absolutely
Yes.
action. Miss
Yeah,
me
Yes.
with that rom-com. Action.
Y'all know what's funny? My big burly fiance loves rom-com.
That's adorable.
you know,
Y'all, he
most
will
men
be
like
in here
rom-coms.
watching this, and I'd be like, babe, why are we watching this corny movie? Because I like it.
Most men like rom-coms.
I love that. That's adorable.
Sugar or salt?
Salt.
And your grits.
Oh, in my grits?
Wait,
Oh,
sugar
And
I
your
or
grits are
salt and
rice.
pepper on your rice or your grits? First of all,
okay. I like
yeah,
both, but I'm gonna be controversial and say that yes, sugar absolutely belongs on grits.
I don't
I
eat
like
grits.
both,
y'all
depending on the
I
wrong.
don't
mood
eat
I'm
grits.
in.
I don't eat
You
grits,
you
but I
don't what?
love.
But depending on the
I don't
mood
eat
I'm
grits,
in, I like both.
but
But
I love sweet
sugar
rice.
and butter on some rice or
Yes,
grits, that's
yes,
good eating.
yes, it is.
You put sugar in rice?
I do.
Sugar and butter. You
And
need both.
butter.
It's so good with some toast
Dominique is
or a
I don't feel
biscuit.
weird anymore for some of the stuff I do now.
Is that a
I feel,
Southern thing, Lakia?
I
it
think
gotta
it's a
be.
southern thing. I do. I think it's a southern thing. Yeah.
Vanessa
Yeah,
said grits
I
are
need
breakfast
salt.
cereal.
I need
I
salt
mean,
and
grits
butter
are
in my grits.
rice, right? Isn't grits rice?
I
It
saw a
yeah.
video that grits are actually corn, like the seeds
Oh,
grinded
yeah,
up.
it is. It's corn. Hominy, I think might be. Yeah, I think you're right. Grits are corn. You're right.
I'm
And I
putting
don't really
butter
like corn,
and salt.
so I guess that's why I don't like grits.
Maybe. Because that is
Wait,
This
like
is
you
a
might
corn.
not
this
have
is
had it cooked the correct way.
my family is a throwdown type of family. I just don't like hot cereal. I don't like oatmeal. I don't like
I
grits. I
don't
don't
like
like
oatmeal
matzo
either.
meal.
I
It's
like
just not for
oatmeal.
me.
I don't. I
Yeah,
don't
I do.
like, what's the other one? Cream of wheat.
Oh,
Ugh.
that
I
cream
don't
of
like
wheat,
that
Yeah,
man.
either. Ugh.
yeah. All of that is a no for me. This is a random story before we let everybody go. I remember Diddy used to have all those reality shows, and it was the
Mm-hmm.
one to become his assistant. And his mom was like, I want a Southern breakfast. And the lady bought her some rice, like sugar and butter. And she was like, this isn't a Southern breakfast. And I'm like, how this New Yorker gonna tell this Southern lady what a Southern breakfast is? But Dr. Bailey, I'm glad you were able to hop on, and
Me too.
Dominique, I'm glad you were able to tag team this with me. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. I hope y'all enjoyed our chat with Dr. Austin, and please don't forget to join us tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern for our Let's Talk at Oxbrida with GBT. Again, this has been fun. We hope everyone enjoyed it as well, and we will see everyone tomorrow.
Bye,
Thank
everyone. Thank you
you.
guys for joining.
Bye. Thanks, Monica. That was awesome. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.